Hello and welcome to a prospecting video. In today's video we are going to be talking about the new present delivery system. Now if you don't know what the new present delivery system is, it is Santa's sleigh where you can deposit items, and I'm going to be showing you the best methods for the best quality, so the best rewards from the sleigh. Now, if you don't know how the sleigh works, it's very easy. You can deposit any single item into this present delivery, into Santa's sleigh, and you deposit a total of 10 items. But as you can see, underneath the progress, which is 0 out of 10, there is a quality. Now, the quality determines on what items you get. So this Santa's sleigh, this present delivery, can give you all sorts of good items, including ornaments. It can be the best way to get ornaments. I have seen an average of 100 to like 300 ornaments per delivery. You can get items such as the solar magnifier, solar tokens, mythic summons, cosmic resonators, spirit orbs, snow globes, rainstones. So all the useful items in the game to trigger events, to potions, to all of that good stuff you can get from this sleigh for basically free. Well, it's not free because you've got to deposit items, but the items go as follows. So when you put a common into the present delivery, you get a 2% quality. When you do uncommon, you get a 3% quality. When you do rares, you get a 5% quality. When you do epics, you get an 8% quality. Legendaries gives you a 12% quality. Mythics, 25% quality. And last but not least, the exotic, 50% quality. So the best items, the best ores you can use inside of the present delivery is exotics. That will give you the highest percentage possible. Now, there is a little trick with the percentages as well. You can get a modifier called Jolly. Now, Jolly basically doubles any single percentage on what item you're using. So let's say you have a Jolly Mythic and a normal Mythic gives you 25%. It will make that Mythic 50% quality. So the best item you can put in the sleigh would be a Jolly exotic mineral. And that would give you 100% quality. So it is possible to get 1,000 quality on the Santa sleigh. But what I've worked out is Jollies are actually very hard to get. Now you can only get the Jolly modification when there is a candy cane event. And candy cane's events happen every single hour on the hour, and they last for 15 minutes. But I have done quite a few candy cane events now since the update, and I do not have a single Jolly item. And I was going for mythics and exotics with the Jolly modification. So getting Jollies are actually very hard. So in today's video, I'm going to show you the best methods to fill the Santa's sleigh. And that would be depending on how far you have progressed into this game. So if you find legendaries easy to get, you should look for legendaries. If you find mythics easy to get, you should go for mythics. And if you're endgame like me, then you should go for exotics. Because 10 exotics in the Santa's sleigh gives you a 500% quality rating. And like I said, the better quality you have, the better rewards you get from the present delivery. So you want to have the highest percentage possible. And this is exactly what I do. So you can look for exotics such as the dinosaur skull. We'll talk about the best ways to get exotics in a minute. And what I normally do is click weight/perfection, and I just give them my lowest weighted dinosaur skulls. So I'm just going to put 10 in here for now. And every time you fill the sleigh, you get a 59-minute cooldown. So basically an hour cooldown until you can claim your prizes and do another one. So in an hour, I will get rewards at a 500% quality from using 10 exotics. Now, depending if you're end game, mid game, like low end game, then you might find using legendaries and mythics easier. So make sure you use the highest items you have spare. Now we're going to move on to the method side of this video. So there is a couple of methods you can do to get the most exotics possible. So currently there is 3 easy exotics in the game. There is the dinosaur skull, the void stone, and the cryonic artifact. The dinosaur skull is 1 in 54 million. The void stone is 1 in 138 million. And the cryonic artifact is 1 in 155 million. So if you have like an endgame build with high capacity and luck, you will find getting dinosaur skulls and cryonic artifacts super easy. And with the void stones, they are a bit harder because you do need a void to spawn. But they are actually the second easiest exotic currently to get in the game. So the exotics you want to go for is actually the dinosaur skull and the cryonic artifact. So you can find the dinosaur skull at the magma furnace. There is this area that spawns called the Infernal Heart, and this is where this cave opens for half an hour. And this opens every quarter past the hour, and it is open till quarter to the hour. So you can spend half an hour inside of this room, and then you've got to wait half an hour for the room to open again. So what you could do is spend half an hour trying to get dinosaur skulls at a 1 in 54 million chance. And then while you're waiting for the Infernal Heart to open again, you can head to the Frozen Peak and go for the cryonic artifact. Now you can use special items in this area. You can use something called a blizzard. So what you need to spawn a blizzard is something called a snow globe. And that starts a blizzard for 15 minutes. And that will give you better luck and more items at the Frozen Peak. So it will make getting the cryonic artifact a lot easier. Like I probably get, I want to say 10 to 20 cryonic artifacts in about half an hour with my current build. And then when the Infernal Heart is open, you can go for the dinosaur skulls, which I normally get around, I want to say 20 to 30 per Infernal Heart. Maybe even more. Because I pretty much get a dinosaur skull like every 30 seconds. I'm not even joking, it's that common. But that is the method for like super end game to low end game. But if you do want to stock up on mythics and stuff, then the Infernal Heart is also very good for mythics. So you could spend your time in the Infernal Heart just stocking up on mythics. And if you do get a dinosaur skull, then hallelujah. Like you can still use mythics in the present deliveries and still get a 250% quality. So you can still get decent rewards even if you are struggling to get exotics. You can just use the same method and just get mythics or legendaries. Because the Infernal Heart is the easiest place in the game to get exotics and mythics. And probably even legendaries, to be honest with you. Like, I don't imagine legendaries being that hard in the Infernal Heart. And it's also the best place to make money, so it's like a win-win. But with the Frozen Peak, it can be quite hard to get like mythics and legendaries if you're not endgame. So you only want to come here if you're trying to get the cryonic artifact. But the cryonic artifact is 1 in 155 million, so it is actually quite difficult compared to the dinosaur skull. It's like 3 times harder to get. So you could always just no-life the Infernal Heart, and when the Infernal Heart closes, you could go and do something else for half an hour. Because the chances you'll get 10 mythics and 10 exotics in that half an hour is very likely. But then, if you get a jolly mythic or a jolly exotic, you then make the odds, the percentages, double. So when you get the jolly modification, it basically just doubles any item's percentage inside of the present delivery, the Santa's sleigh. So realistically, you do want to try and get exotic jollies if you can, because that would give you 1000% quality, or jolly mythics, jolly legendaries. Like a Jolly Legendary would give you the same percentage as a normal Mythic. Well, it will give you 24% when a normal Mythic would give you 25%, so it's not that much difference. But a Jolly Mythic would give you the exact same as using an exotic. So if you do struggle to get exotics, then make sure to try and get Jolly Mythics, because that will do the exact same percentage as a normal exotic inside of the present delivery. Now, this present delivery is a lot like the cauldron that they released during Halloween. If you were there, then you would know exactly what I mean. It is very good for ornaments. It's very good for just random stuff you need in the game. And it's just really good. Like, you should really be spamming this present delivery if you can. It just sucks that there's an hour cooldown every single time. Because if you have like a surplus of exotics or mythics, then you just have to wait. And there's no button to skip with Robux like they did with the cauldron on Halloween, but I have been finding the rewards to be better than the cauldron. So it's double the time on the cauldron, but I also think it's double the rewards. So you want to try and get the highest quality percentage possible, and I have told you exactly how to do that. And just a little recap, you want to go for Dinosaur Skulls, Cryonic Artifacts and Void Stones because they are the 3 easiest exotics to get in the game. If you are only looking for Mythics, then I would use the Infernal Heart, or you can go down to like, let's say the Fortune River, because the Fortune River is actually quite good for Mythics as well, and Legendaries. Because you can use an item called Rainstone. Rainstone right there. And this will spawn a 15-minute event on this water right here at Fortune River. And that will basically give you more items. Let me just spawn one now so you can see. There it is. 2 times items from Fortune River and Fortune River Delta. So all the way down this Fortune River, you would get 2 times the amount of items when you're panning. So the Fortune River is actually a very good location as well if you're not looking for exotics. But if you're looking for exotics, then go for Infernal Heart and Frozen Peak. And I do want to slightly mention this North Pole location. This can also be a very good spot to get mythics and exotics. Because if we look in my collection and take a little scroll down to North Pole, there is actually an exotic in here called the North Star. And then there's a pink diamond, which is very easy to get for a mythic. And then a frost shard. So they do have alternatives. If you don't get the exotics, you can get mythics as well. And these mythics are not hard to get. And then if you are struggling to get mythics, you can just go for legendaries. There is 4 different legendaries inside of this North Pole area. So that can be quite good. And the North Star is not hard to get. 36 North Star exotics. And this took me an hour to get. It was during an admin abuse event. But if I managed to get 36 North Star exotics in an hour during admin abuse, I can imagine the North Star is not actually hard to get. I can imagine the odds to be like probably 1 in like 100 million. Or maybe it could be the same as the Pumpkin Soul. So during the Halloween event, there was this Pumpkin Soul exotic that was 1 in 235 million or something similar. So this could be similar as well. Like this North Star could be 1 in 200 million, which would make this the 4th easiest exotic to get in the game currently. And the 3rd easiest without a void. So you could even just dig here and it will still be very good for the present deliveries. Because you got to remember, each present delivery takes an hour before you can use it again. So that gives you an hour to get as many exotics, mythics and legendaries in that hour as you can. And then the candy cane event, which gives you jolly, which gives you double the percentage. So jollies are very important, but not really important. But they are good for like mythics and legendaries. And that will basically just double your percentages. So getting jollies is something you want to try and do. But like I said, I have done... Ooh, that's the event right here. Chance for a powerful equipment mutation and Jolly Modifier. It is right there. So you want to use candy cane events, which last for 15 minutes. But that is going to be the end of this method video. If you were expecting this video to be crafting Santa's bag, I'm going to be doing that tomorrow and testing the items tomorrow. So make sure you check out that. And I'll be back seeing you tomorrow. And that will be the end of this video. So if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. And if you really enjoyed, make sure to subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.